Most people believe that walking more is the key to staying healthy after 70. But what if I told you that doctors are now warning against excessive walking as you age? Walking is a great way to stay active, but if it's your only form of exercise, you could be making a mistake that accelerates aging rather than slowing it down. The truth is, as you get older, your body needs more than just walking to stay strong, maintain balance, and protect your joints. Relying too much on walking while ignoring other essential forms of movement can lead to muscle loss, joint strain, and an increased risk of falls. That's why experts now say that after 70, you should walk less and focus on these 5 things instead, because they are the real secret to maintaining strength, energy, and independence well into your later years. In this discussion, we will break down 5 key areas you should be prioritizing instead of just walking. These simple changes can improve mobility, protect your bones, and even add years to your life. Stay with me until the end, because the last one is something almost no one talks about, but it plays a major role in longevity. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to thank you for being here. If you find this information valuable, subscribe to Graceful Elderly, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us continue bringing essential health discussions to people just like you. Now, let's dive in. Walking is a great way to stay mobile, but if it's the only thing you're doing, you could be setting yourself up for muscle loss. After 70, sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass, becomes one of the biggest threats to independence. The problem is that walking alone doesn't do much to build muscle. It primarily engages the lower body, but even then, it doesn't provide the resistance your muscles need to stay strong. That's why doctors now emphasize that after 70, strength training should be a top priority, because it directly counteracts muscle loss, improves balance, and keeps you strong enough to avoid injuries and falls. If you can still carry a heavy grocery bag without struggling, stand up from a chair without using your hands, open a tight jar with ease, that's a great sign that your muscles are still working well. But if you've noticed that these simple tasks feel harder than they used to, it's likely because your muscles are gradually weakening, even if you don't realize it. And the reality is, if you don't actively work to maintain your strength, your body will start losing it. Take Robert, 74 years old. He walked every day, thinking that was enough to keep him healthy. But one day, he noticed he was struggling to lift a box that used to feel light. He also realized that standing up from the couch felt more difficult than before. At first, he blamed it on aging. But then his doctor explained that muscle loss wasn't just something that happened. It happened faster if you didn't challenge your muscles. So Robert started adding basic strength exercises into his routine. Light resistance bands, bodyweight squats, simple dumbbell movements. Within a few months, he noticed a huge difference. He felt stronger, more stable, and even had more energy throughout the day. Strength training doesn't mean lifting heavy weights at the gym. It can be as simple as using resistance bands, doing bodyweight exercises like squats or push-ups against a counter, lifting household objects. The key is progressive resistance, challenging your muscles just enough to keep them active and engaged, and the benefits go far beyond just strength. Studies show that maintaining muscle mass is directly linked to longer life expectancy, better mobility, improved brain health. If you want to test where your strength is at right now, try this. Sit in a chair and stand up without using your hands. If you can do this easily, that's a great sign. If you struggle, it may be time to start focusing on rebuilding your strength. And the good news, it's never too late. Strength training can reverse muscle loss, improve balance, and keep you independent for years to come. So, if you're someone who still relies only on walking for exercise, consider this your wake-up call. Muscle is the key to longevity, And after 70, it's one of the most important things you can protect. We've covered how walking alone isn't enough, and why strength training is essential for preventing muscle loss. But building muscle is only one part of the equation. In the next section, we'll dive into another overlooked aspect of healthy aging: balance and stability. Most people don't realize their balance is declining until they have a near fall. And when balance is weak, even a simple misstep can lead to serious injuries that take months or even years to recover from. Walking keeps you moving, but it doesn't always improve balance, and that's something most people don't realize until it's too late. After 70, fall prevention becomes one of the most important aspects of staying healthy and independent. Falls are one of the leading causes of serious injury in older adults, and many falls happen not because of weak legs, but because of poor balance. If you aren't actively training your balance, you might be unknowingly increasing your risk of stumbles, trips, and dangerous falls. You might think, I've been walking my whole life, so my balance must be fine. But balance isn't something that stays strong automatically. It's something that gradually declines unless you actively work on it. Walking doesn't challenge the small stabilizing muscles in your feet, ankles, and core the way balance-specific exercises do. And if your balance weakens, even a small misstep can lead to a fall that takes months or even years to recover from. How to tell if your balance is declining? Think about the last time you stood on one foot while putting on a sock, tried reaching for something on a high shelf, stepped off a curb without thinking. Did you feel steady, or did you have to grab onto something for support? Many people don't realize their balance is slipping until they experience a near fall, one that shakes their confidence and makes them more cautious with every step. That's exactly what happened to Edward, 76 years old. He was always active. But one day, while stepping off a curb, his foot landed at an odd angle, and he suddenly lost his balance. He caught himself just in time, but that moment scared him. It made him realize how vulnerable he had become. His doctor explained that as we age, balance naturally declines unless we actively train it. The good news: balance can be improved quickly with simple exercises. Edward started a few easy balance exercises, standing on one foot for a few seconds at a time, shifting his weight side to side in a controlled way, walking heel to toe in a straight line. Within weeks, he noticed that he felt stronger, steadier, and more confident in his movements. The best exercises to improve balance. Balance exercises don't require a gym or special equipment. Some simple movements that dramatically improve stability include standing on one foot, hold onto a counter for safety. At first, walking heel to toe in a straight line, like walking on a tightrope, shifting your weight side to side in a slow, controlled motion. Chair assisted toe raises, lifting your heels while holding onto a chair. These exercises train the small stabilizing muscles in your feet, ankles, legs, and core, which keep you steady when walking, stepping onto uneven surfaces, or turning quickly. The benefits of balance training go far beyond just avoiding falls. Better balance means better posture, faster reflexes to recover from a misstep, improved coordination, more confidence in movement. A simple test to check your balance right now: try this. Stand near a counter for safety. Lift one foot off the ground and try to hold your balance for at least 10 seconds. If this feels easy, that's a great sign. If you struggle, wobble, or have to grab onto something, that's a sign that your balance may need work. The sooner you start improving your balance, the better. Balance doesn't just protect you from falls, it helps you feel stronger, more stable, and more confident in every movement you make. Why walking alone won't improve your balance? Many seniors think that because they walk regularly, their balance must be good. But walking doesn't challenge the muscles that keep you steady in the same way that balance exercises do. Walking involves forward motion, but balance training requires side-to-side, rotational, and single-leg movements that activate the stabilizing Muscles in your feet, ankles, legs, and core. That's why even lifelong walkers can struggle with balance if they don't train for it directly. Edward learned this firsthand. Even though he walked every day, his balance was still getting worse. Once he started specific balance exercises, he noticed an immediate improvement and his fear of falling disappeared. If you've been focusing only on walking, it's time to start prioritizing balance training. Balance is one of those things you don't think about until it's too late. But by training it now, you can prevent falls, stay steady, and maintain independence for years to come. But muscle strength and balance aren't the only factors that matter. In the next section, we'll discuss something just as important: flexibility and mobility. Most people don't realize that stiffness, joint pain, and limited movement aren't just part of aging. They happen because we don't stretch and move our joints properly. Walking may keep your legs moving, but it doesn't do much for flexibility, and that's something that becomes critically important after 70. Over time, your joints naturally stiffen, your range of motion decreases, and movements that once felt effortless can start feeling restricted. If you've ever noticed that turning your head feels tighter than before, bending down to tie your shoe isn't as easy as it used to be, reaching for something on a high shelf feels uncomfortable, these are signs that your flexibility is declining. And when your mobility starts to shrink, so does your independence. The problem is, many people don't realize how important mobility is until they start losing it. Why walking alone doesn't keep you flexible. Walking may keep your legs moving, but it doesn't fully stretch the muscles or engage all the movement patterns your joints need to stay functional. As a result, many people assume joint stiffness is just part of aging when, in reality, it's because they aren't using their joints to their full range of motion. That's why doctors now emphasize that after 70, dedicating time to flexibility and mobility exercises is just as important as staying active, because it's what allows you to keep doing daily activities without discomfort or strain. How to tell if your mobility is declining? Think about the last time you got out of bed in the morning. Did you feel stiff? Reached for something in the back seat of your car? Was it harder than before? Put on a jacket. Did your shoulders feel tight? Many people ignore these small changes, thinking they're just minor annoyances, but what's actually happening is that the muscles and connective tissues are tightening over time, reducing flexibility little by little. How flexibility loss affects your independence? When mobility decreases, everyday tasks become harder. Turning your head to check traffic while driving, getting in and out of a chair smoothly, reaching for something on a high or low shelf without strength. This is exactly what happened to Walter. 78 years old, he walked daily, thinking that was enough to stay mobile. But over time, he noticed getting out of bed in the morning felt stiffer than before. He had to bend his knees more to pick things up. His movements felt slower and more restricted. His doctor told him that mobility loss wasn't just about getting older, it was about not using his joints to their full range of motion. So Walter started incorporating gentle stretching, controlled joint rotations, dynamic mobility exercises. Within weeks, he felt looser, more comfortable, and improvement in his posture and movement. Flexibility training isn't just about sitting and trying to touch your toes. It includes dynamic stretching, controlled movements that keep your joints fluid, joint rotations to keep your shoulders, neck, and hips moving freely, gentle yoga or Tai Chi, slow, controlled movements that increase range of motion. Some simple movements that help keep joints lubricated and pain-free include neck rotations, slowly turning your head side to side, shoulder rolls, loosening tension in your upper body, knee to chest stretches, keeping your hips and lower back flexible, ankle circles, reducing stiffness in the feet and legs. The benefits go far beyond just feeling less stiff. Greater flexibility means fewer aches and pains, better circulation and blood flow to the joints, improved posture, and reduced tension in the neck and back, lower risk of falls due to increased joint mobility. A simple test to check your flexibility. Right now, try this. Stand up straight and slowly turn your head as far as you can to one side, then the other. Does it feel smooth, or do you feel tightness? If you can turn your head fully with ease, that's a great sign. If you notice restrictions, stiffness, or discomfort, it's a sign that your flexibility is decreasing, and now is the time to do something about it. Why you should start flexibility training. No mobility loss is not inevitable. With just a few minutes a day of focused stretching, you can keep your body feeling younger, more mobile, and pain-free for years to come. So, if walking is your main form of exercise, it's time to start focusing on flexibility too. Keeping your joints loose and your movements smooth is one of the most important things you can do to stay active and independent after 70. Walking may keep your legs moving, but it doesn't do much for your core strength or posture. And these are two things that become critical after 70. A strong core isn't just about having toned abs, it's about maintaining stability, preventing back pain, and ensuring that your spine stays aligned as you move. If your core is weak, you may start experiencing lower back discomfort, balance problems, a tendency to hunch forward while walking. All of these issues increase your risk of falls and joint strain over time. Why walking alone doesn't strengthen your core? Many people assume that because walking engages the legs and posture muscles, it must be good for core strength, but walking doesn't fully activate the deep stabilizing muscles in your abdomen and lower back, which means that over time, these muscles can weaken without you realizing it. This is why many seniors experience back pain, slouched posture, and difficulty standing upright for long periods, even if they walk every day. The hidden dangers of poor posture. Most people don't realize how important postural strength is until they start feeling aches and pains that weren't there before. If you've noticed that you slouch more than you used to, feel stiffness in your lower back after standing for too long, how core weakness leads to increased fall risk. Poor posture doesn't just affect how you look, it can increase your risk of falls. When you slouch forward, your center of gravity shifts, your balance becomes less stable, you react slower to sudden movements. This is why many older adults who don't train their core find themselves feeling more unsteady, even though they walk regularly. Harold's story. How posture training changed everything. Take Harold, 75 years old. He had always been active, but over the years, he noticed his shoulders were rounding forward. His lower back felt strained after standing too long. Even though he walked daily, he still felt stiff and unbalanced. His doctor explained that poor posture was putting extra pressure on his spine and joints, leading to chronic stiffness and an increased risk of imbalance. So Harold started incorporating seated pelvic tilts to engage his lower abs. Standing posture resets against a wall. Gentle core activation exercise. Within a few weeks, he noticed less back pain, better posture when walking, improved breathing capacity. Best core exercises for seniors. Core exercises don't require a gym or any special equipment. Some simple movements that activate the deep stabilizing muscles include seated pelvic tilts, engaging the lower abs while sitting, standing tall against a wall, practicing alignment and posture reset, slow, controlled rotations, strengthening the deep core muscles. These exercises help reduce lower back pain, improve balance and coordination, increase stability to prevent falls. A simple test to check your core strength right now. Try this. Stand against a wall with your back flat. Make sure your head, shoulders, and hips are touching the surface. Can you maintain this position comfortably? Or does it feel unnatural, like you have to force yourself upright? If it feels difficult, that's a sign that your posture may need work, and the sooner you start strengthening your core, the better. Why core strength is essential for aging. Well, better posture means less strain on your joints. A stronger core improves balance and reduces fall risk. Good spinal alignment helps prevent long-term pain and stiffness to maintain core strength with minimal effort. The good news. You don't need to spend hours doing sit-ups. With just a few minutes a day of focused core activation, you can prevent back pain, maintain an upright posture, improve your ability to move with ease and confidence. So, if walking is your main form of exercise, it's time to start focusing on the muscles that truly keep you upright and strong. What's next? Joint health and low-impact movements. We've now covered why walking alone isn't enough to maintain strength, how balance training prevents falls, why flexibility is the key to keeping joints pain-free, the importance of core strength for posture and stability. But there's one final piece of the puzzle: joint protection and low-impact movement. Many seniors believe joint pain is just a natural part of aging, but in reality, stiffness and discomfort happen faster when you aren't actively protecting your joints. Walking is a great way to stay active, but if it's your only form of movement, it can start putting unnecessary strain on your joints. As we age, cartilage wears down, joint fluid decreases, and shock absorption becomes less efficient. This is why many seniors begin to experience stiff knees, aching hips, or discomfort in their feet. Even if they have been active their entire lives, the problem isn't necessarily the walking itself, it's that walking alone doesn't provide the joint support your body needs. Many people assume joint pain is just a natural part of aging, but in reality, stiffness and discomfort happen faster when you aren't actively protecting your joints. Walking can sometimes make this worse because it involves repetitive impact on the same joints over and over again. That's why doctors now emphasize that after 70, you need to walk less and focus more on low-impact movements that strengthen and protect your joints. Think about the last time you finished a long walk. Did you feel energized and pain-free, or did you notice aching joints, stiffness, or a lingering sense of discomfort? If walking leaves you feeling sore, it may be a sign that your joints aren't getting the support they need. This is exactly what happened to Raymond, 77. He was walking daily, thinking it was the best thing for his health. But over time, his knees started feeling stiff, and his lower back began to ache. His doctor explained that he needed to reduce the repetitive impact on his joints and start incorporating low-impact movements instead. He began doing gentle swimming, cycling, and flexibility-focused exercises, and within a few weeks, his pain decreased significantly without having to give up movement altogether. Joint-friendly exercises include activities like water exercises, swimming, and water aerobics reduce impact on joints while strengthening muscles. Cycling, whether on a stationary bike or outdoors, cycling is gentle on the knees and helps maintain leg strength. Tai Chi and yoga, these slow, controlled movements improve flexibility, balance, and joint mobility. Seated or chair-based exercises for those with mobility issues. Gentle stretching and strengthening movements done while sitting can be highly effective. These activities help increase blood flow to the joints, improve lubrication, and strengthen the surrounding muscles without putting excessive stress on sensitive areas. The benefits go beyond just pain relief. Protecting your joints now ensures better mobility, less stiffness, and greater ease of movement for years to come. Try this. Sit in a chair and slowly stand up without using your hands. Notice how your knees and hips feel. Do they move smoothly, or do they feel stiff and achy? If there's any discomfort, that's your body telling you that your joints need more care, and switching to low-impact movements could make all the difference. Aging well is about maintaining the right balance between physical health, emotional well-being, and personal habits. While walking is beneficial, relying on it alone can lead to muscle loss, balance issues, and joint strain. The key takeaways from this discussion: protecting your joints is essential if you've noticed increased stiffness or pain. After walking, switching to joint-friendly movements can help. Low-impact exercises improve mobility. Gentle activities like swimming, cycling, and Tai Chi strengthen muscles while reducing strain on joints. Aging doesn't mean losing vitality. It means making mindful adjustments. Small changes in daily habits can help maintain long-term strength, energy, and independence. If you've noticed any of these subtle changes in yourself, taking a moment to reflect on your daily routines and making small adjustments could lead to greater strength, improved comfort, and an overall better quality of life. By understanding how different aspects of health are interconnected, you can make better choices that allow you to continue thriving at any age. Longevity isn't about avoiding time, it's about making the most of every day, ensuring strength, energy, and fulfillment for years to come.